I'm Lori Telson, and I'm on the Board of Trustees at Temple Emanu-El, and I'm a PACT leader. I'll be chairing this event tonight with Rabbi Magat. The local organizing committee that has put this community action meeting together is called Tikkun Olam, and we have been working on environmental issues for more than a year.
Tikkun Olam means repair the world, and the Tikkun Olam committee listened one-on-one and in small group meetings to members of the congregation to find out which community issue was most affecting our temple. Once we discovered it was the environment and did some research with local government and organizations in the area, including the Silicon Valley Toxics Coalition, we discerned that the issue that made the most sense for us to tackle was how we take care of the electronic waste we produce. There are actions we can take to recycle our electronic waste responsibly. We can create policy at the city, county, and state level to assure electronic waste recyclers are certified as green or responsible. We can ensure that our e-waste is broken down in ways to not emit toxins into the air and water here and across the globe. This is a very special evening for us because we're going to begin to take those actions together right here, now. We would like to thank our invited guests for being here tonight. San Jose City Council Member Ash Kaura is here, along with Council Member Kansan Chu.
And Kansan Chu couldn't make it unexpectedly, unfortunately.
Okay. But we also have, thankfully, Scott Strickland, Senior Policy Analyst for Santa Clara County Supervisor Liz Ness. We appreciate your willingness to be here this evening. We know you are committed to listening to our community and to doing the necessary work to protect our environment.
Temple Emanu-El is a partner in PACT, People Acting in Community Together. We are an organization of faith-based groups, planting the seeds of change to improve communities, affect policy change, and achieve social justice. Through connections and collaborations with members of our congregations, we discover what people really care about. We come together as ordinary citizens, empowered to advocate for ethical and practical solutions to problems facing our communities. As members of PACT, we represent 23 congregations. We are 50,000 voices strong.
At Temple Emanu-El, we have identified the issue of electronic waste recycling as one that impacts all of us, whether we know it or not. What we do here in our community affects people and environments throughout the world. We are commanded to work towards Tikkun Olam, repair of the world, a responsibility we all share. Safe environments, clean water, and clean air are rights of all people throughout the world. We can be responsible world citizens starting right here, right now, in our own community with a commitment to responsible electronic waste recycling.
Initially, we got involved in this issue because of the environment concerns. We quickly learned that we were really dealing with privacy and human rights issues. Electronic waste contains some of the most toxic substances known to mankind, particularly when burned. Burning is often done to retrieve the valuable metals that are also part of electronic waste. We learned that most of our e-waste is shipped to brokers in developing nations where the poor are exploited to dangerously recover these valuable metals under unsafe conditions. The E-Steward Standard is the only certification program that prohibits all toxic waste from being disposed of in landfills and incinerators, does not allow developed countries to irresponsibly export hazardous e-waste to developing countries, and has an extensive health and safety requirements for workers in every country, including developed nations where toxic exposures are routinely taking place.
It may cost more to recycle responsibly, but as we have recently learned from the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, sometimes the most economic choice is not the right choice. The cheaper alternative, letting a recycler pay you or even your local school for your e-waste, could end up costing billions of dollars in the future in harm to the environment, not to mention the many lives whose value cannot be measured.
I am a 10th grader. In my free time, I volunteer here at Temple Emanu-El as a classroom student teacher. I really care about our environment, and this includes the people who live everywhere, not just in America. The actions and policies that the generations older than me are making and have made affect my generation. We're going to have to correct it. And that's just not fair to us. It makes me really angry. What we just saw, my generation is going to have to fix. I wonder why we haven't done anything to help yet. When the consequences of our actions are too remote in time and place, we don't notice or think about them. In this case, the consequences of us ignoring what has happened to our so-called recycled e-waste is killing other people and causing an environmental nightmare for all of us. Would you let this happen here? Would you let your kids do this? Would you let your grandkids do this? You can help fix this. You can help lessen the burden put on my generation. Please help me and my generation by being more conscious of your e-waste recycling. Thank you.
What the Toxics Coalition is doing, those images, I think a lot of us have seen it, whether it's 60 Minutes or other news programs, and we sometimes wonder what we can do about it. And I want to thank PACT for telling me what I can do about it, and how that's so important. And so what I'd like to announce right now is that tomorrow before the Rules Committee in the city of San Jose, I've prepared a memo that's going to be heard by the Rules Committee entitled E-Steward Certification. And it covers 3 specific areas. One is that, first of all, requires the city of San Jose, and this goes to the first question, requires the city of San Jose to become an e-stewards enterprise, committing to best efforts to exclusively use e-steward recyclers, that all city-sponsored e-waste recycling is done by e-steward certified providers as defined by the Basel Action Network. And this one I think is the most significant, that all e-waste recyclers operating in the city of San Jose become e-steward certified. Marcy has some copies. I'll be happy to forward over a soft copy as well, so it can be circulated around electronically, so I don't have to print more paper to do it, which I think we're all cognizant of. But what really strikes me the most is that I really do think that we have a community here that is responsible and wants to act responsibly. And so I think there's so many great things that are happening at one time here with one simple policy that we can really resolve a lot of issues. And I want to thank all the hard work by the committee of doing the research so I didn't have to do it, bringing it to me. I'm serious, we have a lot on our plate in the city. You all know that, everybody knows that. To bring it to me in a package, easy to understand, and to take it and now hopefully take it to the rest of the council. And so thank you all.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that I'm really honored to be here among committed people. I'm honored to be in the sanctuary, and I was honored to be able to take part in the process earlier. I was able to meet with Lori and Rich and Marcy and other members of Tikkun Olam as a resource to explain about what the county is doing with e-waste. And I was really eager to come because Liz did sponsor the first e-waste policy in 2005. And as a result of that policy, we have this excellent, I think, world-class program that's available to all of our residents in the county, where you can come and deposit your e-waste for free. And the county uses an e-steward certified recycler, ERI, and you can be assured that you are recycling green when you bring your stuff to the county. Now, as a part of this process, I was really eager to show off, and then this wasn't part of my script, but the committee members asked, well, what about the county's e-waste? Which is a great question, because we're a $4 billion organization with 15,000 employees, hospital, jail, lots of computers and cell phones, and I didn't know. And they asked, well, what about your website? Do you do you link to folks that are not e-certified on your website? And I didn't know. So I went back and checked, and I told Liz what I had learned as a result of meeting with PACT, with Tikkun Olam. And we found out that we were not using an eSteward certified recycler for our own waste. At the very next supervisorial meeting, Liz asked whether or not the policy that she had written in 2005 required that. And the staff indicated that it did. And as a result, there's been a new contract process, a new bid, and we're now in final negotiations with our e-certified vendor. This process was only open to e-Steward certified vendors, and we're going to have a new contract at the end of the month.
All right.
Okay, my job here was to listen to all the political double talk and summarize where we heard yeses and nos. But all I heard was a yes and 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 a maybe we need to talk to our lawyers. So thank you so much for making my job easy, and you guys are great.